Hello and welcome back. We'll just run Barnstable back around to the Triang station, and we'll have a look at my 1976 Britannia model. So smoothly round here. Let's see if we can stop it in the right place so we can run the Britannia back out again. Nice smooth stop about there. Just check the back end. Yeah, I think we're clear there. So I'm just going to fiddle with the point work here. So we want to make that one curved is down, curved is down. I will remember that one day, although probably never when I've got a camera in my hand. So I think this is my model's dated 1976. So I think the Britannia Class loco had been Oliver Cromwell from the early 70s for a few years. So this is definitely tender driving. It was classed as a Silver Seal model. Let's give it a bit of a run. Let's apply some power there. So it makes a terrific sound on the rails. I had remembered it had been a lot noisier than this, and I had it in mind. I did buy a motor and I was going to use some parts of it to swap it over, but in running over the last couple of days I've thought, well, it's not really any noisier than any other of the Silver Seal models. Let's have a gentle stop there. So I have just left it alone, so you know, as these things run. But I think it had always struck me as being a little bit on the noisier side. So as I showed last week, I got this utility van, and I have gone ahead and changed the couplings on it. So we've got Mark IIs on one, and this is perhaps not the best place to see that. So we'll have a look at that in a moment. So perhaps we'll just run that around. Let's see if we can make an interesting route for that and bring it on the inside line, and perhaps we'll swap the Britannia around and get this sort of load of goods wagons, little goods wagons there. So I think this one, so points over here, the green with the green dot on, will go curved. And then, which one do I need now? It's the one with the blue dot on over there, which I think will make that work. So we want to go curved there. So that's all quite a good plan. Let's give that another go. So yeah, that was the market stall purchase on the utility van, plus the bits I had already had. So let's come down low this time and look at it under that elevated track. So it just has the 2 traction tyres on it in this incarnation. Smoothly through there. Let's bring that round here. So it does interestingly have a flanged centre drive wheel, so I'm not sure it's entirely comfortable on this track, although there is lovely movement from side to side on all of those wheels, so it is quite flexible. So I have had the odd derailment, as you saw on that opening footage there. It can quite abruptly jump from one side to the other on some of the point work. So let's just bring that around there and stop that there. Let's pop these things down. And last week you were seeing me having a terrible time with the uncoupling, with the decoupler here. So I think mainly that's down to the slight wrinkle in the couplings I had on this. So, oops, I can't quite get focus on there. So let's see if we can grab focus on there. These have got a slight bend in the. That's never going to stay in focus, is it? These have got a slight bend in them. You see it's sort of angled down a little bit. So even though the coupler, this part is at the right height, there's sort of an angle down on there, and it doesn't quite lift up. I'm struggling terribly with focus there, and that's the same on the other end of there. Let's see if we can get that in there. So it has been through the wars a bit, this one. Perhaps I should change those items and just knock those rivets out and put a couple of different hooks in which aren't so wrinkled perhaps. So I think that's why I was struggling with that. So let's get the decoupler and see if I'm going to have better luck this time. So that's on the straight, and again trying to look in the right place, so we'll lift that up, and then yeah, so that's much more what I was expecting to happen. And then we've got the Mark III's on this end. Let's see if we can get that to behave itself as well. Whoops. So let's get that again. There we go. So we'll just, and I've coupled up at the other end. So I wasn't watching what I was doing with the other end. There we go. So let's just whip that off. That roof's cleaned up rather nicely. And we'll just have a quick look underneath. So that's those CKD sort of bogey pivots. And we've got a Mark II on that end. And we've got a Mark III on that end. And I used a little 8BA nut and bolt to hold the coupling on there. Cleaned up the bogies and the wheels. And that also does the trick quite nicely. I'm quite pleased with that. Possibly unnecessary, we'll get by without it, but it just seemed like a good idea with those bits and pieces, and coming across that one on the market stall. So I was trying to go back to the market stall, but we'll see if we can get the time to do that. Why have I not got the coupling over there? Well, I've got it on the rails incorrectly, so excuse me. There we go. That's back up there. We'll get that one back on there. So while I was at it, I got carried away, and there was I had some other bits and pieces. So this is not especially, it looks like a fish van, but it's not. I don't know whether it's a 7, the top had a broken plastic chassis on it, and then I had a couple of other chassis, and I cut them, split them in half. So I ended up with a Mark III on one end and a Mark II on the other. Couldn't bring myself to glue the chassis on, so I've used black tack, so that's what you can see underneath there. I suppose I could just glue it on, but I was quite pleased with that. So that sort of does the job. And let's pop that there. So we'll have a look at those wagons. I put a couple of extras on, and I found another cable drum wagon, which is very similar to those. Remember I said I didn't know whether those were Triang. I think they are Triang, and somebody's just painted those red. And there's an original set there. They're quite nice. A little bit worn, but that's like most of the rest of the things on the railway. Things are a little bit worn. So I think what we'll do, we'll just run these coaches into this siding here. We'll uncouple them. We'll see if we can take advantage of that uncoupler, and we'll swap for the wagons. So I'm sort of not looking where I'm pointing the camera a lot of the time today, I've realised. So yeah, we want to run through that one first. I was going to change it first there. So let's just run forward there. And I'm aware I haven't attended to the point work behind me. There we go, we should be able to, oops, no, not quite, just a little bit further. There we have it. So I need to do that one curved, and we need that one straight. So let's see if we can get that lot backwards. So a little bit of power. And just run smoothly into there. And let's see if we can stop this in the right place. I think I may have gone too far backwards, you know. So let's represent that. Let's see if I can nudge that. There we go. I keep going too far backwards. I'm going to try that. There we go. We've got that. So I need to switch that one again. So that's hiding over here. So we'll go curved with that. And let's see if we can come through these points trouble-free. So I've gone the wrong direction. So we have that. So let's come back out here and see if we can pull that through the points. So let's give that a little bit more power now. I don't know why I've suddenly started turning that in the wrong direction. I know I'm running the wrong way around the railway, and I'm turning it as though I'm running the other way. So the one wagon which was giving me a little bit of trouble, strangely, was the horse box. It kept climbing over some of the points earlier in the day. So let's just stop that there, and we'll attend to this one. So I'm looking for the switch, and I can't remember which one I'm looking for, so it's that one. So this lot should just run around. Let's have a look and undo what I've done here. So that one needs to change. So we'll make that one straight. And then we should be all good to run around that inside line. So, and then we'll probably just have a quick look at the bottom of this locomotive and look at the flanged wheels. So let's run this one the correct way this time. So if I just see if I can get some interesting shots of that as it comes around. Whoops, backing into the controller there. Nice colourful set of wagons. That's picking up a little bit of pace now, so I'm just going to back that off a little. And then we've got a bit of a derailment there. So I think that's possibly down to the centre flanged wheel, and it all sort of getting a bit tight as it comes into that small radius curve there on the point. So let's see if we can undo this, and we'll take this as an opportunity to look at the underside of the locomotive. If I need to let go with both hands here, we'll switch the camera off, and we'll come back to it. Let's see if we can just pick that up. And we'll have a look at the underside of the tender whilst we're at it. There we have it. So I was planning to do all that a little bit more gracefully than that, but the opportunity is now presenting itself. Let's have a quick look on the underside of that tender there. So you see we've just got the 2 traction tyres. So earlier ones, I think this tender had might have started off with 6 traction tyres, and then we just possibly had 3. I think there's a version with 3 traction tyres. I can't remember all the variations now, but this one's just got the 2 traction tyres on it, no flanges on those centre drive wheels there. So we'll just pop that down there. It does have the odd fingerprint in the varnish, well ingrained into it before it came to me. So let's just pop that there. Have a look, and I'll leave a little bit of footage of this on the rolling road at the end. So let's have a look over the locomotive now. If we just gently encourage that to go on its back, and you can see we got those flanges on the centre drive wheels there. So I think sometimes it just becomes a little bit tight and jumps the rails. It's done a lot better on the rails than I had thought it might. I was very, very pleased with it. In fact, it's been quite fun running with it. Now we can't quite see, but somebody has added an additional wire. You see that green wire there onto the pickup there, which goes into the pin, goes onto the tender. So generally, sort of quite an unreliable way of doing it. Really, it would be much nicer with a plug and a wire, really. But I don't think they'd got around to that in the early 70s. What I'm going to do is just put the camera down for a moment, and I'll get that back on the rails, and we'll have another go with it. There we go, all back on the rails. Definitely much easier with both hands available. So I've whipped out the catalogue. We'll just have a look at that in a moment, but I'm going to change these points whilst I remember, and then once we get underway again, we'll try and work our way back onto that outside line, because I think the Britannia is going to be a lot happier out there rather than on these tight radiuses, especially multiple points after one another. But yeah, it has been quite good fun to run it. So here we go. We've got the Silver Seal locomotives, and we've got sort of the side of the motor, really above scale there. So I will leave these pages at the end if you want to have a read through them. Great fashion in evidence here, isn't there? So there is the Britannia there, looking all glossy and shiny, and it's a R.063. So I've got the price list here as well. So this is the 76 book, so 12th of January 1976. So we've got the price there, and we've got the Silver Seal locos here. Look, so we've got 3 of them. We've got the Brush Type 4, the Black 5, and the Britannia. So R.063, the one at the bottom, is £13.50. So it sounds like a comically small amount of money at present, but I imagine 1976 that was really quite a sum of money. So let's pop that to one side, and we'll just bring the locomotive a little further around the rails. Fingers crossed with the point work here. Let's give that a bit of a go. So I think while it's underway, we'll just go around the one more time, and then we'll change another set of points. So that's looking pretty good. Actually, I could do this another way. Let's stop that there. I was considering going through this set of points over here, just hiding under there, whereas I could use the sort of long crossover and go back onto the outside line via this set here. So we'll give that a go. So maybe it will behave over there. So I'll just change that one. So again, all good planning, and then we'll change the point at the other end of that, so that will enable us to run back out onto the line here. So we'll make that one curved. There we have it. So let's go for the power again. Dodgy place to stop on a double set of points. Yeah, I'm not doing such a good job of looking where I'm pointing the camera today. I do apologise. I keep looking down the side of the camera instead of at the camera. Not quite sure why that is. I feel I normally do a better job of it than that. And then we'll just have a quick look over those wagons as well. We'll sort of get some model numbers out and dates. There we go. So I'll just grab my notes. So we've got that lovely closed van with GW on the side of it, and that's a goods van. And my notes say that that's a very early wagon, or that they were producing these from, maybe 1949, right the way through to 67, and it's definitely acetate. There, roof's bendy, whole wagon's bendy. It's a beautiful shade of grey, and then we've got the Shell lubricating oil there. So a nice bright yellow wagon. That was made for quite a long time as well, so 56 to 68. The horse box, which we had on the rails last week, so that's a R.123. So 55 to 71. There's some variations made of that in the early 70s, and I think, and there's also, that was a converter, wasn't it? So that was 002 Britannia Railways type Mark III type couplings. That's a cable drum wagon that I've made up of bits. So those are R18, 53 to 71. So the one behind it is more original. These are all unboxed items I've got here. None of these items are boxed. And then we've got the cable drum wagons 53 to 71, and then the drop-sided wagons are 113. So they were available 54 to 73. Again, very long-running items, these. And the brake van 53 to 67. Again, that one's all sort of rough on the edges of the roof there. So I think we'll give this train a bit. So that one, yeah, that's made up of pieces. We said before that was from the bits and pieces drawer. So the body originally had a broken plastic chassis on it, so that's why I've changed it for a couple of dead metal chassis, and I've cut them in half. So let's run that to the outside now. So a bit more power and we'll get the correct direction. It looks terrific from a distance. Slight hesitation there over that point. And we'll bring that to a gentle stop. But I think that's about it for the day. But thanks again for watching. If you look back again next time, we'll have something else interesting to look at. Goodbye now.